All right, sorry about that, everybody. My name's Jeff Lynn. This is Paul Cantrell. We're from Bust Out Solutions. We had a wireless streaming display that we tested multiple times, but never with 500 people in the room, all clogging the airwaves. So what we're going to demo is a app that we built for Como Park Zoo and Conservatory. It's called Make a Bonsai. It's available on the iTunes Store. It's an iPad app only right now. Unlike all the other cool demos you've seen tonight, there is absolutely no revenue model built into this. This is, I had no idea that would get applause, but, so what we have here, I suppose this is in violation of mini demo rules. We're showing screenshots. But if you have an iPad, go home tonight and download it. Just search for Make a Bonsai. The app costs $900. It's free. If you've been to the Como Conservatory, you've seen that there's actually a brand new bonsai pavilion that they just opened in April. We were asked to help create a display for that new pavilion. Part of the display is a virtual bonsai app, so you can go in and create your own virtual bonsai. What we did when we were asked to build this is first we requested to learn how to make a bonsai, because none of us actually had ever done it. So what you see here is Mike Procaro. He is a bonsai master who volunteers at Como, and we had a crash course and learned how to actually make a real bonsai, and took it back to the office, and it died in 2 months. But it died while we were building and designing the app, so it's kind of like, I don't know, like a weird rebirth. But what you see here is all the tools of how to make a bonsai. In general, what you do is you start with a big bush, and then you trim it down. And unlike what we thought going into it, you don't grow a bonsai, you actually train it. So we designed the app to reflect that. Let me scroll down a little bit. Paul engineered most of the app, all of the app, and we had a couple designers working with it. I'm going to let Paul talk a little bit about the mathematics behind it.
I'm going to try just once, now that the room is quiet, let's fire up Reflector and see if it can actually connect while I'm talking here. There's Reflector. If it shows up there, connect. So when I was in high school, I was really, really into fractals, and I didn't think that was a career thing. But this spring, I actually got to make fractals for a living, which was awesome. This tree is modeled using what's called a stochastic L system, which is a really, really fancy way of saying the L system part means that we take branches and substitute them with more complex branches over and over and over. The stochastic part means that sometimes we leave bits out. One of the challenges we face doing this is that these fractal-based trees look really pretty and beautiful, and they're very symmetric and elegant, and you don't make a bonsai from an elegant tree. You want something that's really dense and shrubby so that you actually have something to trim away. So in fact, one of the hard parts of this mathematical modeling problem was simplifying, or complexifying rather, the tree to get it to look like this, which is something that I can actually make a bonsai out of. And once you have a tree structure that works, it's surprisingly easy to just throw some leaves on it and make the thing look like an actual tree. And one of the joys of working with Bust Out is that I get to work with some really awesome designers. So while I was fiddling around with math and just trying to make a tree, Andrew Bessler made this just beautiful screen design, and putting the tree and the design together, well, that's what it's all about. Jeff, can you scroll up just a tiny bit here? Right along the bottom here, you can see the variety of different bonsai trees. Because we used math to generate them, they're not modeled by hand. Every single one of them is different. So if you go and download the app and make a tree, that tree that you're trimming is the only time ever in the history of the universe that anyone ever has a chance to make a bonsai out of that particular bit of math. This is your one shot, so you want to make it good. So, nice. There's 3 different species of trees in the app, and the difference between them is each one is just about 20 lines of configuration that determines how the branching structure of that particular tree works, how twisty it is, how dense it is. There's a little bit of extra code for the juniper, whose needles are very different from leaves, but for the most part, the straight-armed maple and this kind of twisty-turny ficus, and the juniper with its spindly arms and dense bunches at the end. It's all just, each tree is defined by, I would say, about 25 different numbers. And that's all it takes to make these different species appear. When it starts up, you can see the trimming in action. A fun part of this, this is what we really wanted to show you. When you're tapping the tree to trim the branches, of course, there's just this huge amount of math that you have to do to figure out where the touch falls, right? You have to project a ray from the viewer's eye through the point on the screen where the touch occurred. This is all in virtual space, and then find nearby branches. Way too hard, right? What we do instead, can you scroll back up to the Christmas striped one, Jeff? We use a technique called a color pick, where we use a different color, a unique color for every segment of the tree, draw it invisibly off the screen, and then just look at the color of the point where you touched, and that's how it knows where to do the trim. And it don't actually have to do any extra math to do the touching at all. So there's a little taste of it. I'm so sorry we can't show it to you. Jump out if you have an iOS device, well, an iPad, unfortunately only. Jump out to the App Store and download it. Make a Bonsai is the search to do. And these are our young endorsers here. That's actually an unposed photo. You can have as much fun as they are. Anything you want to add, Jeff?
If you get the chance, I really encourage you to actually go to the Como Zoo Conservatory. Beautiful space they built there. You walk in and you make your virtual bonsai, and then walk in a little bit further and you see the real thing, which is really actually better. So thank you very much.